Welcome to the SHT Podcast. This podcast is created by superhumans, for superhumans, and anyone else who wants to look, feel, and perform like a freaking badass. Your holistic health journey starts here. Rediscover how we...
Yeah!
Paul, sit your ass down.
All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? So I had a really good discussion with Keagan Parvaz, and this is a young man. He's a football player at Faith Lutheran here in Las Vegas. I would say most of his life kind of struggled with the same thing everyone struggles with, which is eating the wrong foods and maybe even not knowing how to work out properly. And, he got exposed to CrossFit a few years ago, and of course the SHT and Our Way of Eating and other foundations. And that was at about 15 years old, and today he's a completely different person. Like, I've seen him transform before my eyes, not just as an athlete, but body composition, and then like his emotional state. Like, he's so much more open and outgoing, and it's been so great to watch that. He went from being average in school in the 9th and 10th grade to like being a stellar student in 11th and 12th grade. He's 18 now, and he's kicking ass, and I'm really happy for him and tried to capture some of that on a brief discussion. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Sitting here with, I always say your name wrong, I know, but I'm used to it now. I always say Keagan, but is it Keagan? Keagan.
It's Keagan.
Keagan, okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so sitting here with Keagan. How old are you?
I'm 17.
17, and been with us for about 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years on and off. But now I'm on consistently.
Really dialed in. For how long you been consistent with it?
About 6 months.
Cool. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
It's great. Experiment with it. So anyway, I've known you. You said 3 years?
Yeah, freshman year.
Cool.
Just finished up junior year now.
Yeah. So definitely wanted to get you on here because I've seen you go through some different transitions. And well, tell me like how everything started out. So you said like when you were in your freshman year, like how was like the nutrition and all that stuff?
Not all that great. Like, I wasn't where I was like towards the beginning of junior year. Like, I was just sort of chubby, didn't really have much muscle at all.
I remember seeing a picture your mom sent me the other day.
Yeah, that was from earlier this year.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That was even there. Okay,
Yeah.
Wow. So that's been a quick change.
Yeah, that was
So tell me about like your freshman year then. What was
freshman year
like?
going in. I was around 190. Didn't really have much muscle mass at all. I started putting on muscle, but I wasn't very lean at all. I didn't really look that great. I didn't like the way I looked at all. And then towards junior year, it started getting really, really bad, as you can see in that picture. I was weighing in about 230, so I put on about 40 pounds in 2.5 years. Yeah.
So what was, did you ever like go to the, anybody and just say, hey, I'd like to lean out a little bit, or I'd like to know what to do? Or...
I tried, but then just school and football got on the way. I just kind of forgot about it and put it aside.
What about at school and football? Did they talk about like food and nutrition and any of that stuff?
Kinda, but it was pretty vague.
Yeah.
Mainly with them, it was just telling me to just keep on eating and eat everything I can find.
Yeah. So you can keep your size and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you go through some pretty significant shifts, and that's why I wanted to get you on here, because I felt like you'd have a really interesting story for, especially for young people. And do you remember, like, you feel different now?
Yeah, much better. So everything's so much easier. Even just moving is easier now. Getting up in the morning.
Like what? Yeah. What was it like before? Like how was it?
It was
different?
Just before I could barely run a 400 without like dying after, and now I can run
so
my
own conditioning. You feel like is better, right?
Yeah, my overall mobility, my stamina, everything. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think so. I dropped all the fat and stuff and leaned out a little bit more. Like I was definitely like when I was a lot stronger and I was bulkier, but I did not feel very good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, we say that a lot in here. I'm sure you probably heard Colby say it, and we say it in passing a lot. Like, it's like a lot of the stuff that we do, and even like with your sports and activities, it's so much easier when you're lighter. Like, I even noticed that, I've always been kind of a big guy, but the more I lean out, I feel like the easier a lot of these, especially like the gymnastics type stuff gets, and the running and the pull-ups.
Especially, I think my mile dropped from like 9 minutes to 7 minutes.
Dang, man,
Yeah.
we gotta get all this stuff down. Your numbers, that's great.
Yeah.
So when you said you feel better and you didn't feel good before, like what do you mean by that? Like, are you talking about like
just getting up in the morning? I'd always feel sluggish. Like had problems sleeping. Just didn't really feel happy overall. Like concentrating was harder sometimes in class. I was falling asleep because my sleep quality was not great, and I didn't like the way I looked at all. I didn't really like going out all that much. I was just very dissatisfied with my look.
Well, I can tell you too, when you talk about like your focus in school and like just your personality, even like I've always anytime you come in the gym, like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Okay, and I just remember for the longest time, you seemed a little bit more kind of closed off and shy, and now you're like confident and freaking happy and joking.
Yeah.
And do you think that that's part of all this?
Yeah, and you can ask my mom. Like beginning of this year, like towards the beginning of junior year, I was always in a terrible mood. I didn't really want to talk. I just wanted to be left alone.
Do you understand that that is like a big part of everything that you're doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. So do you remember like learning about like how to eat and everything through us? Like, what was that like? Were you resistant to it initially?
At first, the main problem with me was giving up gluten, because that was like in every single one of my meals, like everything. I used to eat a lot of sandwiches.
Okay.
Sandwiches was like a big thing for me. Like whenever I didn't know what to eat, it was just sandwiches. Yeah, and then I just felt like everything had gluten in it. I felt like I couldn't eat anything at first.
So that was your big kind of roadblock with what we were teaching.
Yeah, and then I discovered Whole Foods, and I realized that wasn't the case.
Yeah. So was there anything else in the beginning that you felt like was, oh, I can't change that, or that's going to be hard to change, or something like that?
The other thing was sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah, but now it's not as big of a deal anymore, because I used to like eat a lot of ice cream. I think that's just part of growing up, but yeah, I did give that up too. Like I still have sugar, but it's like a little bit amount of just like fruits at night. But that's about it.
Oh man, I'm so proud of you. All right, cool. So what else? Do you remember anything from that initial? When do you remember like learning from what we were teaching as far as food goes?
I just remember like making sure it's not processing actual food, not just something from like the dollar store. Actual food, organics and non-GMO. I think other than that, it was just gluten and sugar that was hard for me to give up. Other than that, it really was not that difficult.
Yeah. So, and then you said this past year was the year that you really started to dial it in. What was it that made you want to really get it figured out?
Just my look and the way I felt. I just really did not like the way I looked at all. Yeah.
Cool.
That was it right there.
And then how long? So how did that happen? Like when you made that decision, like. Was it just an overnight thing and you're just like, hey, Mom, we're doing this, or what? Like, how did that happen?
So at first, I was just working out here, but that was all I was doing, no diet or anything. And there were some changes, but not really anything significant. I decided that once we went on Christmas break, I would try it. And then in that 2 weeks, I lost like 15 pounds. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going with this.
After you got back from Christmas?
Yeah, I decided to keep going with it. So I didn't really think it would be possible just with school and all that. But after that, it was
so
easy.
2 weeks, and you felt you started to notice it. Like within 2 weeks, what did you notice in 2 weeks?
I felt better. Things started getting easier. I was doing the ketogenic diet for those 2 weeks, so I was super dialed in during that time. But I just noticed like I immediately started seeing results, like immediately.
And then you're hooked.
Yeah.
And then it was like how much better can I get with it?
Yeah, I just kept going.
Yeah. That's a pretty consistent theme. I talked to Becky Sultan this morning, and same thing. I think that's one of the things we really try to get people to understand is if you can get like consecutive days under your belt where you're doing it 100% fresh real food, according to our daily structuring guidelines, and then you start to see the results, then it's like you're hooked. You want to keep that going,
I remember at first I kind of told myself I was going to have a cheat day, but after a while I just let that go. I didn't really need it anymore.
Yeah, that's not even worth it. Yeah. Did you do cheat days in the beginning?
Yeah, but then I started noticing like I didn't really feel too great the next day.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, it's so good for you to be noticing this kind of stuff at your age. If I was your age and I had this, do you understand like how far along you're going to be compared to other people as you get older? Because I didn't figure this out until I was in my 30s. Yeah. And you're already figuring it out. You're so ahead of the curve. That's so freaking awesome. What else? What else is how are things now? Like what
they're much better. Just life is just more happy now. Just less stress and better moods. Sleep quality is better. Just the quality of life is better now. I'm more confident. I actually like coming here now. It's like addicting to workout now. And I love the food and all that. Just life is much better now.
That's great, man. Do you plan your own meals, or does Angelica do them, or how do y'all do that?
I never really had to plan meals. It's never been that complicated for me. Just like I felt like now I have a more wide variety because I've been trying new things now, especially like Mexican food's always been my backup now because like there's gluten-free tortillas and all that, and without corn and all that, and it's just been a lot easier. I never had to meal plan. That was one thing I don't like doing. Is just meal planning. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just whatever comes to mind first is usually what I eat, and it's usually always within the plan.
Cool. What would you say about like your experience here with the CrossFit gym?
It's been great. At first, it was kind of hard coming like every day. I didn't really want to. There were some days I would just come home from school and be like, I don't want to come here. I just want to, do my homework and go to sleep. But now it's like I want to come every day. And when I don't come, I just feel kind of like, oh, I wish I would have gone.
Yeah.
But it's like addicting now.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The better you get at it, the more addicting it is.
Yeah.
And then those of us that dial in the food, like the better that better gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, if you let's say that there's some young people, somewhere around your age, listening to this, and they're considering, joining us for something like a progression, a seminar, and they're trying to figure out real food with us. Like, do you have any advice to them, or anything that you'd say, like, for someone that's like thinking about it but not sure about it?
I would just say, just trust the process. Honestly, like at first it might seem difficult, but after a while it just levels out and it's fine. You just gotta take the first step and hang on to it, and then you'll be hooked in, and it'll be fine.
Yep. Cool, man. You got anything else we need to say?
I don't think so.
I think that's pretty solid. I really appreciate you coming on, and like I said, it's been really, really great. I love your mother. It's been great seeing you guys come in and out of here over the years and seeing your progression, and then especially here recently this year, just noticing, like, I remember just knowing when you dialed it in, because like your weight dropped like dramatically, and just your personality perked up, and it just made me so happy to see that. And really thank you for coming on here.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that some other young people hopefully will benefit from. Right. Really appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm always here to support you any way I can. Okay. All right, man.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, so remember, the purpose of this podcast is to support our SHT community and to be in your ear as a go-to resource for all things SHT.
If any of you have fallen off, if you need support, honestly, just come back and listen to some of these episodes. Get re-inspired, get re-motivated, and get re-engaged. If you're new to us, the best way to get started is by joining our newsletter at sht4life.com.
That's SHT, the number 4, life.com. And you can also find us on Facebook at Superhuman Transformation, and then on Instagram, Superhuman Transformation, which you're doing an amazing job with.
Thank you.
And then also Twitter, it's SHT, the number 4, life. I think that's all we got.
See ya.